Hey folks, I'm Aspenero, and we're back in the desert with our tribal impids in RimWorld, looking at a betrayal offer for our refugees who joined us last time. Take a look here, and can see that an Imperial of the Empire of Metro wants to have us betray our 4 refugees for an L-Tech skull cap, which we will of course be saying absolutely not to. The L-Tech gear is ridiculous. I mean, it's helpful, but I've already put this much time and effort into the refugees. Need a little more incentive than a piece of L-Tech gear. So as our rainy thunderstorm continues and will continue throughout pretty much the whole episode, I guess just a warning again, there will be flashing because of that. You can see both of our guests departing in about 7 days. And our force weather, we're about 5 days through. So more rain and thunder for a while. Base looking a lot nicer. We've got floors in. We're starting to work on our wall to expand out the base, as I'm a bit concerned we are not going to have enough food for everybody, so want to get that rice walled in. And in the morning, bright and early at 8 a.m. in the middle of this downpour, we have another anima linking. So same process as usual. Cuz is our current project. And she gets Word of Joy. Be helpful with breakdowns. Smith is still not our ideology and is definitely having some mood issues. Cuz is also having mood issues, so not the worst thing to get. Could help prevent a breakdown. A bit later, we have a trader here. Send Danny out to do some trading. And we're just going to pick up the medicine and sell a granlin seed we picked up at some point. And as we send Danny back to pick all that up, we get a quest for a covert installation excavation. So information about our relic, the flame bow, needing 5 colonists to carry out the investigation. To the ancient complex, basically. We will get a shuttle ride. You can see that I notice here that Fat is not moving. Fat came to us with a go juice addiction, and I think having them all set to no drugs means that Fat did not take the go juice he came with. And so I guess it's a good thing that we have 1 go juice I saved at some point. And we'll go ahead and have Zen administer that, as I think our folks will get upset if they administer a drug. And hopefully that'll get Fat going back on his feet and we'll need to fix his restrictions. You can see the trader leaves us some face mask and a blindfold. Nothing too important. Probably just sell it. Continue on making some great bows from Smith. Just getting everyone switched over. You can also see that having the go juice administered, Fat is now able to move. So we're gonna go ahead and accept this quest while we have some refugees here to stay behind and grab weapons if need be. Not sure what I was checking here. But we're gonna send our original 5 tribals off. And you can see they arrive in a much nicer environment, or at least less rainy. And we have a large complex to take care of. Not too large. This one seemed fairly small. So as we get in closer, we're gonna shoot the walls open to avoid any issues with the temperature if the unstable fuel nodes go off. That way we don't have the building considered a room. So just gonna blow open some walls with our bows. Could also just deconstruct them, but this keeps us a little farther away in case there's enemies. Let's see, we found the first terminal. And the second. So we get those hacked before we continue on. And since it's starting to get later in the evening, we'll go ahead and drop down some solar pinholes to avoid the darkness mood debuff. At least while they are hacking those terminals. A comms console and a hermetic crate. Go ahead and send Forath to open the crate, which contains 8 luciferium. So we'll pick that up to go home with us, probably just to sell at this point. I'm getting a bit impatient. I decided to go ahead and check out the other room. Which has no enemies. Ancient enemy terminal if we wanted to hack it, a hermetic crate, and a fuel node, which is going to explode. Got a little greedy. So we're gonna have Novo pick up that medicine and get a little singed, but nothing too bad. Probably fine with the 5 medicine. First terminal done, so Sezen's almost done as well. I'm gonna go ahead and disallow those doors since we didn't break open a wall. It will get very hot in there. And just a single burn on Novo, nothing too bad. And as Sezen completes the hack, we get raided just by a single impid. I think we'll be able to handle that. Really wish they would adjust these ancient complexes. The fuel nodes are just annoying. I have gone to bringing fire foam poppers to them, but most of the time I don't even find the loot worth it. But since this is for our relic and trying to go with our role play here, we will get through this one and hope we don't get too many more. Probably won't do any ancient complexes. We might though, I don't know. It depends on my whim, I suppose. Back on our home map, we do get a cargo pod drop of 29 vegetarian fine meals. And we'll let everyone go pick those up, and that'll help with our diminishing food supply. Go ahead and let Kez hack this supply drop, which was just some kibble. Not terribly useful. Not the end of the world. We have a few animals. I debated going and hunting, but our mood is starting to get pretty crummy. I also would have liked to strip the complex for resources, but decided it was fine to just go ahead and leave. Take our kibble, bit of pemmican, and then I'm gonna grab the urns and tables and stuff just to deconstruct. Get a bit of steel and stone out of them. Probably will keep the marble urns. Pretty sure we did. The marble, they all have a bit of beauty, but mostly just wanted to try and get what steel I could without having to sit there and rip all the floors up, given that our mood was already getting kind of crummy. So off we go. Quest complete. We see everyone got back home. And the rain continues as we are raided by 5 impids with short bows. So you know the drill, everybody in the walls. You can see our little construction project still underway there. That secondary wall not done yet. And we'll use our main 5. You can see Novo's pretty far away, unfortunately, so main 4. Since they don't have mobility issues. We are shooting in the rain, which is never ideal. So we are not having very good accuracy. And immediately retreat back behind our wall. Try a different approach. Using this soft sand to slow folks up. We'll send someone to go repair that door. Not quite sure why they stopped there, but they did. They were waiting for their buddies, I guess. Go ahead and burden and blinding pulse. We've got our first person down. Can see just having a really hard time, even with level 16 shooting, managing to hit anybody. 3 down. You can see Zevisith has managed to cleverly get behind some cover, so we're going to use the soft sand, need to get those moved. Borath did take a bit of a hit. She actually did some pretty good damage to her kidney there. We're gonna try and send Danny around, given that the impids have weak melee and she has a short bow. Have Mila repair that wall. Unfortunately, because the extra wall is not done yet, impids are working their way around. Wall is holding. Send Smith and White over just in case. I just want to toss down solar pinhole. I'm not quite sure why. This wall actually creating a bit of a problem for us. But we're able to down the last impid, and the one beating on the wall will now run away. You can see we did down 1, and we will go capture her. Prison isn't lit right now, but that's all right. We can get it lit. Should have time to capture and tend to her. And Borath already getting some care from our refugees in. We managed to stabilize an impid prisoner, so she's in there healing, and we're working on our wall as we research solar panels. Debated for a bit what to take, and after a bit of thought decided to go ahead and grab air conditioning in case we get another heat wave, since we do have the baseliners. And as we continue on, we're actually going to go ahead and assign Forath as our leader, as one of our rituals requires a leader to get all of our points. You can see that Smith still hasn't been converted, neither has Mila. That continues to be a work in progress as we use the convert ability from Kuz. The ritual itself is still on cooldown. So since Forath is decently social, she will now become our leader. And as usual, just about the same, talking about social structure, beliefs, responsibilities, gratitude, future of the colony. These just don't seem to vary all that much. Did also notice for us, Psi Focus was set down pretty low, so raised it up so that we can make use of some of her higher level abilities. And I was going to do our Jubilee, but we're short a Neil sheet, so we've got to get some things moved around, which we finally do in the morning. After reorganizing a bit, we will now have a social festival. Hope to get a bit of a mood boost, as there was some struggle after our adventure. These are pretty short. You can see Forath just talked about ideological celebrations. Hoping to get a development point off this as well. Not sure what we'll reform to. Nothing has really been standing out to me as the next step to take, but it's nice to go ahead and work on getting the points and getting the mood buff. And as we finish up our festival, marriage is on between Novo and Sezin. So our next couple deciding to make it official. Jubilee was fun. We gained some goodwill with our neighbors Unia, and we got a development point. So, toss down a marriage spot while we're thinking about it so they don't go get married outside the walls at some point. And romance in the air at the social festival. Continuing on, you see we've got our solar panels down, we've got our windmills down, putting those where our those two monuments were. And we already have Anima Tree again. Having seen this, we're just gonna hop ahead and Kuz gets Vertigo Pulse. Not much happens until the evening when we have a Manhunter pack. Of 12 guinea pigs. So we'll just put everyone in the walls and I'm sure not have to worry about it. Except that our shuttle arrives in 9 hours and our refugees leave in 4 hours. So having put the effort into making sure our refugees survive this long and not betraying them, I guess we should go ahead and make sure they make it off the map. I don't know that I've really consistently got rewards for completing these quests, but we'll give them some weapons we picked up. So if they do leave the map while the guinea pigs are still active, they at least can fight back with something other than fists. It's not like we'll make much money off of these anyway. You can see with all that done, they leave in 2 hours. So we'll send our 3 melee folks over to block the door. Probably a bit excessive for guinea pigs, but sometimes the bites and quickness of the smaller animals can add up. And Danny isn't tough. And she's not a brawler. She's not nimble. She really doesn't have any benefits to her melee other than that she's not weak like our impids. And she has a decent skill in it, but she isn't really a tank. So we'll start chipping away at all the guinea pigs. See, Novo's got up to level 3. Danny gets up to level 8 in melee. And the rest of the guinea pigs don't want to come over to play. Fortunately, one did land in the door, so door's open. White took a little bit of damage, but should be fine. Same drill. Have Danny go into the door. And just work on the rest of the guinea pigs. Danny taking a little damage. And of course now they want to go around the wall. Just a few left. And at that moment our refugees decide to leave. Little Lilia's gonna dead shot the take a shot at the guinea pig, Zane ending it with his knife. And it looks like they didn't get too injured, so should get off the map fine. I'm recording this in the future, obviously, and still haven't seen a reward, so not sure we're gonna get one for this round. Shooting a little more accurate that time than when we were fighting earlier. Betrayal reward is retracted, of course, as we finish the quest. And send everybody to get back about their business. And then we say goodbye to White, who is on his way. We get our pods with a skill trainer for crafting and some gold. And with that, we've wrapped up our few quests, and seems a good time to say thank you so much for joining me today in RimWorld. I hope you're enjoying the series. And as always, have a pleasant day, and I'll see you next time.